Hey, this is Taylor with Symmetry. We help busy people take back control of their lives, save more time, more energy, and less stress. This is the second part in our four-part series on breathing through training. Today, we're going to be talking about the breathing zones. Last week, we talked about nasal breathing, how that is really our foundation. But as demands for your workout pick up, you need to be able to shift up and down and be able to ramp yourself up or come back down as you need to. That's what these breathing zones are all about. Through nasal breathing, with practice, we can work up to 85% of our max heart rate. But to get to that last little bit, you're going to have to breathe in and out of your mouth. It's best to know when to do it and how to do it. So with those breathing zones, the first zone, zone 1, you can think of this as super low intensity. This is brisk walking. This is your warm-ups. This should be a nice, easy pace, nasal in, nasal out, just not really exerting yourself too hard. Zone 2, this is more of your long aerobic work. Anything that you can sustain for over an hour is what I'm looking for here. If you've ever done heart rate training, same thing as zone 2 and heart rate. We're looking for about 180 minus your age for your sustainable heart rate here. And this should be able to be done all through the nose as well. This is just long jogs, anything long endurance. But when you first start doing this zone 2 training, just nasal only, it is going to be a little difficult. So it takes some practice and some getting used to. So this is where you really want to dive into and try to stay nasal only when you're doing that aerobic work. This is where we're working on really building our base. Now, as intensity picks up, we hit into that zone 3. This is more like track workouts, CrossFit, high intensity type stuff. Now with practice, you could do this nasal only, more of a power nasal. It's more of so it sounds like this. But most people are going to need to breathe in through their nose, out of the mouth. It's more of a. So as you start shifting into that higher intensity workout, CO2 is building up much quicker. You've got to offload it, blowing it out through the mouth. Then we hit zone 4. This is when we're getting into closer to that 85% of the max heart rate area. This is where we really begin to push it. This is those CrossFit workouts, competitions, things like that. You are taking more power breaths. It's more of a in the nose, out of the mouth, forcefully. You're really trying to drive that air deep down and then push out as much as you can. It's a lot about gas exchange. How much oxygen can you get in? How much CO2 can you get out? That's zone 5. This is your max effort. This is not something that you can sustain for a long period of time. You can really only sustain this for a few minutes, and it's what you're going to be doing at the end of the competition when you're laying it all on the line. Really difficult workouts. We like to use power breathing here too. When you do switch to the mouth, you want to keep it out of this upper chest. It's not it's more of a really about driving that air deep in, then getting the air out. Max effort work here. It's not sustainable, but you've got to be able to do it. And when you need to drop the hammer, this is where you do it. This is at zone 5. You are working pretty much at your max heart rate here. So remember, zone 1, nice, easy, low intensity work. Zone 2, long duration endurance work, very aerobic. Zone 3, where we start shifting from that aerobic to anaerobic, getting to do more CrossFit, high intensity style workouts. Zone 4, definitely in the nose, out of the mouth. Intensity is picking up drastically. And then zone 5 is where you're just laying it all out on the line. This is something to begin to play around with your workouts after you get that base of nasal only training in. Start playing with these zones as you begin to work out. Start playing with that zone 3, doing those CrossFit workouts, just nasal only. See how you can adjust there. Next week, we're going to be back with a workout involving pre-workout routines, post-workout recovery, intra-workout recovery, really helping you drop your heart rate and going into a little bit more detail on those power breathing and methods to really improve your gas exchange and increase your oxygen utilization. As always, please reach out to us if you have any questions, and we look forward to seeing you guys soon. Have a good week.